Turn right onto Dixie Highway.
Jordan.
Hey there, Jordan Chariton, live in my car. We are driving to Flint for a panel/meeting to update residents about a major class action lawsuit that the residents of Flint have filed against state officials, including now former Governor Rick Snyder. Last night, actually, big news came out of here regarding the Flint Water Crisis lawsuits. The Solicitor General of Michigan, Fadwa Hamoud, she is in the Attorney General's office, and she actually was appointed under the new Attorney General in January to oversee all of the Flint Water Crisis lawsuits, including the manslaughter cases and all that. I believe there's 15 charges against 15 people. 15 people have been charged. So last night, it came out that the Solicitor General has asked for a 6-month delay in the case of Nick Lyon, who was the director of the Michigan. 6-month delay in the case of Nick Lyon, who is the director of Health and Human Services. A judge has already ruled that he must face a jury trial for manslaughter in the case of Flint residents who died because of Legionella. Well, the Solicitor General asked for a 6-month delay because her team found millions of documents pertaining to the Flint water crisis hidden in the basement of a Michigan state building. One of those boxes was a list of state employees labeled phones/wiped. Let's let that sink in. They found millions of documents pertaining to the Flint water crisis that had been requested of former Governor Rick Snyder's administration, hidden in a basement in some building in Michigan, and one of them had a list of state officials with the label phones/wiped. We'll put the story link in the description box. I mean, you can't get any more shady, pants on fire than that. So obviously, in part of lawsuits and litigation, the prosecution requests documents, as many emails as they can get their hands on, text messages, whatever, of the defendants to see what were the conversations before the event that's being litigated, in this case the Flint water crisis. What were their knowledge of what was going on, those kinds of things. So you're talking millions of documents that were just kind of hidden. I don't know the building, but I think it was an official state government building, just kind of like hanging out in the basement. No, they just forgot those documents. I wonder if any of those documents pertain to the water testing that we found that they had cheated on. So it's a big development. Again, she asked for a 6-month delay in the next step in Director of Health and Human Services Nick Lyon's jury trial, because
I-75 north toward Flint.
they got to go through all these documents now and see if you could find documents in there that totally change the prosecution's case for the better and hurt the defendant's case, obviously. The defendant, Nick Lyon's lawyer, basically said this was a stalling tactic, blah, 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 blah. But it's fairly scandalous, to say the truth, that this was found. And I don't often do this, but kudos to the Flint Journal. It was them who broke this story. And it's a big story. So we'll see if that comes up at the panel we're going to today. But we are, again, going to a panel/update event on... There were a lot of separate class action lawsuits. There was a lot of separate class action lawsuits that were then boiled down to one. So it has a ton of Flint residents on it against the state of Michigan, I believe the city of Flint, but I'll have to check on that, and specific officials. This was the one that 2 weeks ago, a judge decided that ex-Governor Rick Snyder will be added back as a defendant. Previously, a judge removed him as a defendant. A new judge overruled that and added him back. So I'm sure we'll hear about that today. But as you're watching our videos from this week, if you've seen them, because YouTube is making them very hard to find, you'll see. I mean, this is very much still an active crisis. You know, the media presents it as a past tense
In 5.3
kind of situation,
onto I-75
but
north towards
we're talking to
Chariton.
people still have rashes, still have hair loss in the shower, burning eyes in the shower. One woman was telling us about her daughter that basically is allergic to the hot water in Flint and breaks out in rashes in the shower, has to give her Benadryl every day. I mean, the horror stories you keep hearing from people that are not like 2 years ago experiencing this, but like today. All you got to do is speak with people, and it's not hard to find. But the media keeps depicting this as it's a trust issue based on what happened in the past. It's not a trust issue. It's a water issue today. Most of those pipes have not been changed, but more importantly, it's not just the service line pipes that need to be changed. It's the interior plumbing in homes that need to be changed. Outside of all that, can't get into full detail, but we're definitely working on another story here that's fairly scandalous too. Of course, you know, the larger national media isn't paying attention to this, so that's why we need all of you to keep pushing these videos out, these stories that we're breaking. It's a cumulative effect, so sometimes it feels like we're throwing, you know, crap at a wall, but all we can do is keep pounding the pavement, and eventually, hopefully, somebody starts picking these things up. And we are also showing the documentary Flushing Flint tomorrow at a church here. We've been promoting it and handing out flyers, old school. So we're hoping that we get a good attendance for that, and that way it could inform more residents about basically the testing that was cooked that we found that they cheated on, and the fact that frankly, because of that, you know, the process was manipulated, that there's really no credible testing to declare the water safe. And I think residents certainly need to know that. Most residents we speak to don't drink the water. They, you know, still drink bottled water, this and that, but a lot of residents are forced to because they can't afford, you know, to go buy cases and cases of bottled water indefinitely. So there are people drinking that tap water, and you know, all you got to do is talk to them to realize the effects they're still having. So we'll stay on it. We're going to do some interviews here. Of course, we still can't go live thanks to CNN and YouTube. I digress. Hopefully, that will be over at the end of May, and we'll be able to go live at the end of May. But until then, we got to record things and try to turn it around as quickly as we can. So keep at it, youtube.com/statusquo. And if you're watching and you're not a member yet, I don't know, man. I don't know, girl. Do you want real journalism or not? statusquo.com/join. Peace out.